National Reconstruction Fund.
And I give the call to the member for Werriwa.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I move the motion relating to the National Reconstruction Fund in the term which appears on the notice paper.
I give the call to the member for Werriwa.
Thank you. Today I'm proud once again to be talking about how the Albanese government is delivering on yet another election promise. COVID-19 pandemic revealed the clear vulnerabilities in our supply chains, vulnerabilities that were in part the result of our declining manufacturing industries and a lack of planning to prepare our economy for the challenges of the future. That's why in the October budget last year, my colleague, the Honourable Member for Chifley, announced the formation of the National Reconstruction Fund. It's a $15 billion fund that will invest in improving Australia's manufacturing capabilities, diversifying Australia's economy and creating well-paid Australian jobs. It's been discussed in depth and at length the extraordinary and persistent damage that COVID-19 inflicted on every level of our economy, the hundreds of billions of dollars lost and the devastation on our supply chains. It's always been a goal in my life to leave things better than when I found them. And the only way to do that is repair the damage to our economy, is to build it back better than before, to make it more resilient and durable for the future. Because the state that it is in is simply not good enough. The number of manufacturing jobs has been on the decline for the last 20 years, including the loss of the automotive industry. As my colleague, the Assistant Minister for Trade and Manufacturing, put it, we are last in the OECD in manufacturing self-sufficiency. A house is only as good as its foundation, and right now we're on shaky ground. That's why we're making the National Reconstruction Fund one of the biggest peacetime investments in Australian history, not just for the Australian economy or for Australian businesses, but for Australian workers as well. 85% of all manufacturing jobs in this country today are full-time and secure. This is a certainty and stable employment people are looking for. That's why the National Reconstruction Fund is looking at investing in a wide variety of manufacturing industries, such as $3 billion for Australian renewables and low-emission technologies, $1.5 billion for Australian medical manufacturing, $1 billion each for Australian advanced manufacturing, for critical Australian technologies and for value-adding in Australian resources, and $500 million for value-adding in Australian agriculture, fisheries, fibre and food. We must diversify our economy because a diverse economy is a resilient one, and we've been listening on this. As part of the consultation process, we've heard from individuals and we've heard from industries. We've heard from communities and we've heard from unions, and we've heard from state governments, regardless of politics, because the time has come for us to realise the potential of our country together. The National Reconstruction Fund will help us achieve that. It will achieve it through a range of finance options, including loans, equity investment and guarantees. This means the fund will invest and have a return so that it can reinvest again and again. It will be Australians who will reap the benefits. This isn't about bringing in business from overseas, but about building up businesses that are starting and working here. Because we are in a great position in Australia to take advantage of the transition to a net zero economy, and I want Australians to be able to make the most of this opportunity. Opportunities like creating lithium batteries here for the growing electric vehicle market, instead of sending our lithium overseas so somebody else can make them. Opportunities like growing the potential of hydrogen energy. Opportunities like large-scale wind and solar farm investment commitments, which grew nearly 50% in the last year alone, showing the desire and the money is here. And it is time for Australians to seize these opportunities. I think it's important to emphasise this because we've talked about the dire importance of a net zero economy, and we've talked about how necessary and critical it is for our environment. I want to make it clear, however, that this is an opportunity we can all benefit from, to undertake a transformation that will create more jobs, sustainable, well-paid Australian jobs.
And I thank the member for Werriwa.